People are a really tough act to follow. It's so nice to see everybody here. Thank you for the invitation and for bringing everybody together on a Sunday morning. This is the first one of these that I've been to, and it's the first time I've been in this building. I am not sure actually what I'm going to say. When I thought about the theme of Save the World, it kind of hit me that I didn't used to think that it was possible. If you pick up any newspaper or switch on the TV at a random time of day, you'll be drenched in messages that you can't save the world. You know, basically any newspaper. And my Ben moment, beautiful metaphor, my Ben moment was in 1998, the first time someone said it can't be done. And I'm just kind of a scraggly kid. I was 28 years old and had never done any kind of campaigning or really taken any interest in anything at all, and was on my way up to the Jabiluka blockade. I don't know how many people know where that place is. That is one of the largest high-grade uranium deposits left in the world that has not yet been mined. It's right in the heart of the Kakadu National Park World Heritage Area on Mirarr country in the Northern Territory. And I was on my way up to the camp, and my friend, Ben, said, "Mate, they've already decided. They've already made their minds up. You can't stop that." And I figured he was probably right. And he was coming from a place of care. He was encouraging me to basically not waste my time. And of course, they did win. Yvonne Margarula, a very strong senior Aboriginal woman, called for help, got it from right around the country, and the Jabiluka mine was never developed. In fact, a year or so ago, the company removed the site works and buried them, and there's nothing there now to even show that that uranium deposit is there. And so that was my first Ben moment, and it was something of a light bulb moment for me. Someone who says it can't be done? Really? Really? I've carried that memory with me the whole time since then. And my favourite thing about this job is the number of people that I get to work with who have also had very similar conversations and have decided to just say stuff it and go ahead anyway. As we're meeting here today in Tennant Creek, there are, also in the Northern Territory, there are hundreds of people assembling to support Diane Stokes and the other Muckaty elders who have been working since 2006 to stop a radioactive waste dump on their land. People with far better things to do than fight the imposition of this toxic crap on their country. And they've been holding it off since 2006. They've got the government tied up in the federal court. They believe they're going to win. I believe they're going to win. And that is also an incredibly powerful and inspiring story. And again, it's not people with massive resources. They've taken on the territory government, the Commonwealth government, and in essence, as Yvonne did, the global nuclear industry. And I think they're going to prevail as well. This time last week, I was up at the Bentley blockade. How many people have heard of that? Oh my goodness. Now that, a very, very interesting example, as Natasha was pointing out, of the power of social media. The first two images that caught me of that place were sunrise and an angel up a tripod. And it does sound kind of hippie, but what an amazingly powerful image to see 1,000 people gathered at a fortified road and an improvised camp, standing up to the gas industry, to the state government, to the federal government. And I don't think you could have put a tank up that road, quite frankly. And last week they won. They won. And that is absolutely extraordinary. The other image that really got through to me was a farmer, third generation, local farmer, probably voted nationally his entire life, with his arm in a piece of concrete in a pipe. And they weren't going to get up that road. And that, I think, again, is the power of community, the power of improvised defiance and resistance. They were also told that it couldn't be done, and of course they proved them wrong. While this is all happening, while this resistance and this defiance is going on, there are well over 1 million solar rooftops now in this country. The largest renewable energy power station in WA is that collective solar rooftop. And I'm not sure how it is here in New South Wales, what the numbers are, but within a year or so, the largest power station of any kind in Western Australia will be that collective solar PV installation. I would imagine if I told you that a power station in the south of Spain running on nothing but sunlight and running flat out 24/7 couldn't be done. But once you've seen it, once you've seen something like that in operation, it'll change your life. It certainly changed mine. Those young engineers were probably told, like the government here is telling us, that kind of thing simply cannot be done, and of course it can. And 10 days or so ago, the government handed down a budget that basically attacked the entire country. And the more vulnerable you are, the more heavily you've been attacked. And while that has been going on, they've also effectively proposing to abandon and dismantle anything at all relating to standing up to the climate threat. And anybody with the word climate on their business card is basically being shown the door. And that's the budget that's been handed down. I thought, we're stuffed. And instead of being stuffed, people have stood up. And now we are seeing this extraordinary resistance and defiance rising up across the country. So even as the poor old Daily Telegraph just continuing to try and resuscitate it and keep the thing alive, I think it might be stuffed. And I don't know about you, but you know, the idea, that phrase, the one-term Tony, that was kind of catching on, I'm starting to like the sound of half-term Tony. I don't know how you feel about that. I got the double bell, so I'm going to go. My message is that we are everywhere. We're absolutely everywhere. We haven't found everyone yet, but we're everywhere. Link arms, and maybe the people who say it can't be done should stand aside and get out of the way of those who are doing it. Thanks very much.
People will leave today with a really good toolkit of actions to save the world.
People just taking matters into their own hands.
We really do have the power
to empower people to, I guess, feel comfortable in their lives.
Connect that passion and talent I have.
Don't just do one thing, do 100 things.